What's going on, guys? And welcome back to Footy with an Edge. Still getting used to the new software here. That's why you see me staring at the screen. But man, it's game day, boys. It is game day, and girls. I know we have some female viewers as well, and you guys are welcome too. I'm just I, I'm excited to be here. I am nervous. Just my tech support's messaging me. Um, Let me just make sure nothing's wrong. Okay, yeah, okay. Andy, we're not losing today, inshallah. Yeah, bro. Let's hope so. That's what Joao Tavares. That's what Imran says. Joao Tavares says, "Hello, hello. How are you guys feeling about the game?" I don't know, man. I don't want to be negative before we have a reason to be negative, right? I don't want to do that today. It's a good day today. We're gonna get the job done, okay? And then we're gonna go on a run, and then that guy's gonna cut his hair. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. Today's the day it starts. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Uh, yeah. Okay. Hold on, guys. I just got a post to Discord that we are actually live. Okay, bang bang. Bang bang, boys and girls. Sorry, I got to stop saying boys. So we have to resort to hope now. I mean, that's where we are, man. That's where we are. We have to resort to hope because that's the type of situation we're in, right? And listen, all the Amram haters, the Amram doubters, the Amram question markers, whatever you want to call them. Um, Obviously, those guys want a reason to be negative about today. And if we do lose, or uh, Kobe says, I hope I get some game time. That's hilarious. Mobby K. Uh, Roberto says, "What's going on, everyone? I think we'll get an easy win. Actually, P.S. If I'm wrong, I was just trying to be positive." See, nobody can say it with their chest, man. That's the problem with this club right now. I just want to be in a position where going into a difficult game, like a very difficult game, having a good performance, and then being disappointed. That's fine with me, right? I don't want to go into this like what should be easy 3 points, and and then feeling like we essentially got shortchanged by our team. So I don't want to do that. But that being said, listen, I'm not trying to get ahead of the excuses or anything. I'm not the PR person for Amram or this club or whatever. Uh, we saw what Leeds have done in the last 8 days, 9 days. They barely lost to Man City. They beat Chelsea 3-1, and they drew 3-3 to Liverpool. So they got 5 points out of 9, where people were expecting them to get absolutely zero. Um, yeah, Tabi, I know, bro. I'm just trying to be positive, man. What am I supposed to do? I appreciate Tabi, guys. Drop a like for Tabi in the chat. He's always showing his support to the channel. I did predict a loss the other day, but I don't want to sit here and be negative at the beginning of the stream, man. I want to believe, you guys think I want to be negative. I'm the last person that wants to be negative about this club. Abbas says we're already making excuses. I don't know what what else do I say. Yeah, Imran says, how can you call yourself a fan if you're praying your team to lose? I mean, I'm not really praying we lose, but I just said I'm worried that we might, because we've seen our midfield playing. This is the third game in like 9-10 days. It's a lot, man. It's a lot, and we know the state of this midfield. So yeah, exactly. It's going to be a tough game. They're going to low block, counterattack us. I just hope we're ready. Absolutely. Um, I really hope. I really, really hope we just get the job done, man. And I wish I could say it with more chest, but Avan is in the chat. He says we have to win. Back the manager, back the players. United, United, United. Yes, Avan, you'll be happy. I have an official stream today, but you will also be sad because that official stream actually is just as bad as the other stream I had before that. No, I hear you, Imran. I know you're not throwing fingers at anyone, um, but yeah, Fubo TV, guys. Fubo TV sucks. Okay, if we can all agree about on something, Fubo TV is horrible. But what can we do? We're consumers. We are not. We can't dictate how these things go. Um, let me make sure I have my game. Well, I don't need it now. We're still 2 hours away. So I think the lineups come out on what is it? 1:45, right? So 30 minutes from now we'll have the lineup. Udinese are playing Genoa in the Serie A, and the halftime the score is 1-0. By the way, a quick uh Sarah Kujair says that was a weird pep talk. Well, what am I supposed to do? uh what do you think our back three will be? I think Delict is back. Is from what I heard, Delict is back in selection. Let me just check out the Delict news. Put your life saving on Wolves to win. We will give them their first win of the season. Honestly, man, if you want to take that bet, United will disappoint you and just go and win this game. So I don't know what to tell you. There's no predicting what this team is going to do. Oh, okay. You're Shri. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say, bro. Do you have a better pep talk? I know you're in Cali as an Indian guy. I'm guessing you work in tech. You know, I used to work for a Bay Area company as well. For a long time. United Matter says I have some good news. What is it, bro? Tell me. What is the good news? Delict. Let me check Delict news. Okay. There's reports that he's doubtful. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we see him. United Matters says I made some calls and maybe we can get the collab you wanted. And who's that with? Is that with Matty FC? Because that's the guy I really wanted to work with. But I couldn't get a hold of him. Which again, nothing against him. I get it. He's got tons of stuff on his plate. We got 66 people watching, guys. Only 15 likes on the stream. So let's get some likes on the stream, guys. Let's get the party started. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me get a poll up. I'm trying, Shant. I'm trying. Oh, football with the fam? Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I haven't reached out to him myself, but that I can definitely, if he wants to email me or he wants me to email him, I'm happy to do either, and then we can just ask him to join the stream today. He could join right now. We could have this discussion. More than happy to have the conversation. Al Pacino clip. What are you talking about? Al Pacino clip for what? I think he might start Ugarte today. Yeah, it's possible. Shant, I feel like my positive contributions have been overlooked. Neville, why don't you join the stream, bro? Come give us a shout. We can start bright and early with Neville on the stream today, as long as you're not smoking your special cigarettes. Art says, "Hey, what did I miss? You didn't miss anything, bro. We're just here, chilling like a villain." I think Delict might be doubtful for this game. So that's the only interesting piece. Poppy PK saying getting collabs, Andy. I mean, we already have the Three Devils podcast. I'm trying to see if Webby O'Neill want to do another one together. Al Pacino pep talk. Okay, I see you. Neville, you got to give some spastic energy. I think that's the only energy he has, bro. Okay, wait. I hear. When I see a mistake, guys, I'm here to acknowledge because I also didn't pin the StreamYard link in the chat. So it is now pinned. If someone wants to come join, let's have a chat. We're just nice and breezy, being positive. It's a sunny day in Canada today. So what do I have to be upset about? Lamau sounds cool and no special cigarettes. Okay, awesome, bro. Come in. Let's do it. Let's have a conversation, lad. I'm a wee bit wasted. I'm trying to do my best Scottish accent, guys. I'm sorry. Was that bad? Tell me if it's bad. Just be honest with me. Just honest with me, Doc. Give it to me straight. Shesko has returned to individual training. That's awesome. A couple of games we can probably see him back. I enjoy Three Devils podcast a lot. Thank you, man. Cyberman is here, man. How you doing? This guy is one of the OGs. I remember him from like very early on in the channel's history, like 3 years ago or something. Are we getting the real Scottish accent this time? Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, Imran. I appreciate the support, bro. I think the only thing I know like perfectly to say in the Scottish accent is Aberdeen. I'm from Aberdeen. Maybe that was terrible too. I'm sorry, guys. Neville's gonna roast me now when he joins. This team made us nervous even when we play bottom teams that back in the day was guaranteed 3 points, scary and sad times. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Let me just get rid of some of the stuff on the screen so we can actually see the callers when they join. There we go. We should be good now. Okay. We got Neville joining.
Soll hier einkaufen gehen. Das kostet den Preis. Warum nicht? Also ich hier sitzen mal Leute.
Ready for United to win tonight,
Weiß gar
lad.
nicht, was du meinst.
Is there someone in the background? Hauser?
Aber wir von den Punkten dann
Me.
sind wir noch.
I hear some noise in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was from Oven. Yeah, maybe that was from him. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I put you in first, and then I didn't realize it's coming from the other side. Yeah. Are you? I thought you got some Peaky Blinders. We got some folks with the hats on today.
Oh, look at us. Yeah, we're matching.
Yeah, there you go.
Sick. Well, I'm excited for the win tonight. We are gonna win.
Yes.
What do you think? Genuinely, what do you think the score will be? I think it's going to help us that we're not playing at Old Trafford, because when we're expected to win, I think that is accentuated at Old Trafford and the players crumble. But I think we'll get this one done 2-0, 3-0.
For me, like I'm gonna give you two scenarios as always, right? Because okay,
Thanks,
just a little backstory.
Okay.
Just
No
yeah, a
political
little bit of backstory about me, right? Okay, so I studied economics. I also have not trying to flex here. I also have a master's degree in business, right?
Well, I've got
And,
a level 1 in bricklaying, bro. So we
there's-
all got our things.
No. I'm not. I promise there's a point to this,
No,
right?
I'm kidding.
The point is, there's a joke that goes around that you've never seen a one-handed economist, right? And the reason is because there's always on the other hand, right? So the point is that you, I think I want to be positive. I think we can win this game. We can win it 2 or 3-0. But on the other hand, we need to look at where the midfield is. We need to look at how much more energy the other team is going to have, and they're playing at home and they have 0 victories. And
Yeah.
like the storyline couldn't write itself because a pack of wolves can always smell blood, right? And I'm just saying. So if they're seeing a wounded animal, they might be ready to pounce, and that's the only thing I'm worried about. That's why I was saying there's a chance we lose this game. And it might be another Brentford in sort of the worst scenario, but I think we can easily go win this like 3-0 or whatever.
Yeah, you asked for the positivity, so I'm bringing you the delusional positivity. Like, I think we've got this one. Realistically, there's a little part of realism in my brain, believe it or not. I'm aware, the Everton game, we've got this one. Saw where that went, West Ham. It was a draw, but I think we all know we should have scored a second and buried that one.
Yeah, we should have won that. Also, Alistair, too many people are understanding you, bro. Where's the real Scottish accent? Can you unleash the real?
Well, like I said,
Speak for yourself, Andy.
Second nature. do this so that folk can understand me. But no, what do you want me to do? Genuinely,
I understand you now.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Don't worry. Don't change anything.
Rishi hit me with the train spotting allegations. I couldn't believe it. But then again, that's what I reckon. Like most Indian people will think when they look at someone like me and hear my voice.
Someone asks if your H is Scottish cousin.
What?
H, you know the rapper.
No danger, man. If I was his cousin, I would fucking bell him up and say, "Sorry, but swearing. Tell him to stop releasing such cringe music."
Yeah.
When I look at him, I kind of remind myself of either the singer Ren or the rapper Pro. I don't know if you. Yeah, Ren.
Like that? Why am I getting roasted? We're here to talk about Man United.
No, it's not. It's not roasted. You look like two people who are famous. I mean, how is that a roasting?
Well, because he may not like their music.
You look like a really, really good ultra marathon runner. Why do I get the vibe that you do like fitness TikToks?
Yes, No, I don't do TikToks, but I do. I just do a lot of sports.
Are flying both ways. I love it.
This man is athletic.
He's like, you look like you make bad music. He's like, you look like you're an influencer.
a bad one, exactly.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a good influence.
Oh my god!
I just want to show you.
Exactly, that's true.
Oh, okay. Let's see the cat. I'm gonna get you on.
Oh my god!
See the cat.
Wait, I think I also need to get a cat. I mean, I had a cat. Now I don't have a cat, so maybe I should also get a cat.
I think he was.
My cat's sitting in the background right there. You guys see my cat?
Oh, is she there?
Yeah.
Your microphone's blocking her a wee bit. Oh, look at that angel. Oh. See, she's snoozing happily because she knows Man United are going to win. She's like, I don't even need to watch it.
Yep.
You know, for me, Andy, I think United is just like a team which is, or like, you know, when you're prepared for the thing, but you get cold feet because you're just unsure. So it's that kind of feeling, I think, for the players. Okay, we've been playing well in patches, and then when we see, we're actually good. We can actually play well, and then they kind of like get cold feet, and you know, then we kind of either draw the game or lose it. In terms of errors
as well. Like this.
Avan, do you mind sitting down, bro? I'm getting dizzy looking at you.
Sorry, I didn't want you to.
See, she's building up and said there as well. Like this is another week, just like
I was trying to get my steps in.
Just like the Everton West Ham game, though, when we're like, there's a good opportunity for us on paper. There's teams above us that are dropping points and things like that we want to drop points. So again, yeah, I get it. The pressure is kind of there and stuff, but genuinely, I feel like a lot of that pressure is off the players when they're not at Old Trafford. That's just my weird take. You can blame the cigarettes for that, whatever. But I genuinely believe that it'll help us being away. I think we're going to get a first goal early, and we're going to go that kind of route.
It's been a while since we have done that, and
it's been a
that would really help us. Yeah,
it's been a hot minute. What do you think will be the front three? Because I'm a big believer that Mount should be starting and should have started on the left side at 10 last week. I thought Cunha would have obviously been rusty, and he was rusty.
Yeah,
I thought this.
I think the thing with Cunha, I think the thing with Cunha is a little bit the same thing that Liverpool are going through with Isak and Wirtz, right? It's like we've spent the money, they're new signings, so we have to kind of get them in as quick as possible. Because even earlier in the season, when before Cunha played well against Liverpool and Brighton, that you could have made the same argument that, you know, maybe Mount should start ahead of Cunha, but we were just waiting for Cunha to kind of get used to it and come good, right? And I think that's why he keeps playing him. And Shaylin, yes, I'm on until the match starts. Yes, I'm gonna be here till 2:30. So essentially another hour from now, and then I'll take a 15-minute break and be on for the match 15 minutes before the match starts. But yeah, sorry, Alistair, go on.
I lost my train of thought. Go on, Cunha. Oh yeah, you know what? I was just gonna say, literally, like it's just very important that we have him in the best possible form that we can get him into before AFCON happens, because we're going to lose Mbumo and we're going to lose Ahmad, we're going to lose Mazraoui, who I reckon we're going to see as the right-sided centre back. My days, put my teeth back in. Sorry, the right-sided centre back. So, you know, I would like to see Yoro there personally, but at the same time, it's like that's a different conversation. But yeah, I just think we need Cunha up to that level of expectation now, or leading into AFCON that we've had of him since we signed him, which we've kind of had, and I would argue in a lot of ways we've had. But yeah, the goals and assists aren't really there, and you can tell that's bothering him because he's used to scoring a lot of Wolves. You know, I mean, like I don't think he just. There was a lot of chances he snatched at and stuff like that in certain games where I just kind of thought, I don't think he'd be doing that if he was comfortable with like, okay, I've bagged a couple goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think us having Cunha fit and firing, regardless of AFCON, right? Like we just need him fit and firing because we would still be way better as a team if he's fit. In fact, I'll tell you this. I think the concern I have with Cunha, right, is he seems to be the type of player that on his day will win you the game by himself, right? Yeah. And on, let's say, 6 out of 10 games, he will be under par, right? So his average is still probably the same as someone like Mbumo, who's consistent at the same level almost every single game. But Cunha will have like really hot flashes. Like his ceiling might be higher than Mbumo in a game where he's just unplayable, right? And then, my issue with that is ultimately that you're looking at him and saying, listen, the 4 games out of 10 that you're going to be excellent, okay, you get us the 3 points in every single one of those games. But in the 6 other games, can we get you to have your floor be a little bit higher? That's kind of where I'm looking at Cunha, right? Because I just genuinely look at him as somebody who in his sleep should be able to come and dominate like 17, 16 of the Premier League teams, right? Yeah. And then against the really good teams, you know, if we have a good team performance, he should also be able to dominate those games. So yeah.
One for him as well tonight, with it being Wolves, obviously. I wonder if that'll add a little extra like pep to his step, if that makes sense.
Maybe he told Joao Gomez to go down in the treatment room.
Do you know what I mean? Slip him a wee fiver in that, like, mate, take a dive, one for the boys. I'll make sure you get.
No, I don't think he's playing today. I think he's out.
Oh
injured.
Yeah, he got carded at the weekend, didn't he?
Is he injured or is he out? Let me see.
Midweek or something. Or these midweek games are Friday.
Oh yeah, he's suspended. Right. He's suspended. Yeah. My bad. I thought he was injured, but I guess he's suspended.
We were going to see what people call the audition at the moment. You know, we had with Ballet, you know, the midfield sort of front runners. But you've spoken about that so much, and I've chimed in on the chat and things like that. None of those, I believe, are viable January options at all. Maybe Baleba now, but who knows?
Well, even Baleba though, the problem is he's going to AFCON, so we can't even. Baleba wouldn't be a good signing. Yeah,
he's Cameroon as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They've got quite a stacked squad. I mean, I guess. Well, they have Onana in goals. I wonder.
Yeah,
like kind of brings down the general quality of your team, but.
Well, that's our only hope for Mbumo coming back faster than expected. Is Onana gets the job done for Cameroon and knocks them out.
Hey man, he took us out. This is the thing. Everyone's like, obviously the
League Cup, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say like the Champions League game like kind of hurts or it's like in people's mind, the Europa League kind of gets pinned on him a lot. He certainly didn't make it easy. I think it's unfair to pin the final on him, although any better keeper would have probably saved that scrappy ass goal. But what was I gonna say there?
Oh, they say Onana isn't selected apparently. Okay. Well, so the Cameroonian coach has a brain. Thank God.
Oh no, I guess no. That was just my point. It was like his parting gift to the entire team was to knock us out of one mere competition. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that knock-on effect has been so rough. The way the board didn't move fast and just get him, like, they didn't obviously bring in Le Mans to the last day. That was their message to him that, like, you know, you've got competition, you know, blah, 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 blah. But the damage was done, you know what I mean? He'd already had us knocked out the cup. You know, how many penalties were there in that game? Something like
12?
18? Oh,
Didn't we
okay,
lose like 12, 11 or something?
it was crazy. But then for obviously, like, when you compare the two teams, it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, he was such an expensive keeper. Was he not 45 million or something? I mean, as far
He's
as
at 50 million. He was 50 million, yeah.
50, there you go, man. Like, as far as keepers
Not
go,
just that. I don't know, Neville, have you seen the Sins of 2023 video that Rishi and I did? Yeah. Sorry, Alistair, my bad.
sorry, mate. Just the name makes me laugh. So,
Well, because you have your YouTube name as Neville Glitter, right?
yeah.
I need to put that up right there so that I remember who I'm talking to. But yeah, so what was I going to say?
I've transferred my
Lost.
to
Speaking
you.
speaking to a guy who looks like he's from. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, what?
I thought you were saying something. You just lagged a little bit on screen, and that's why I stopped.
Oh no, I was like trying to give the floor to you. Jesus, I just realised my scarf matches my curtains. That is a dreadful look. That is a terrible time. Like, ugh. Dude, I forgot what you were saying.
Yeah, maybe Avan can go while we shut up.
Yeah.
Avan, what are you saying, bro?
Well, I just keep listening to you guys, and I, of course, always have some things that I agree and disagree. I mean, I just find also the talk about Onana's. I mean, you know, the movie The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. You know, it would be, if you were to ever make a documentary, you could always title it The Curious Case of Andre Onana. You know,
I thought you were gonna slide me in there.
Yeah.
No, I never
like
meant.
a
You
joke
see that's because it's probably a trigger. But anyways,
Andre Onana.
when he came to us from Inter Milan, I was just, I mean, of course there was so much media attention, the best keeper in the world. Of course, you watched the Champions League final. I watched, of course, the other games as well before that. But you know, and then when you see him making all those basic football errors, you just start to, think, how is it possible? I mean, such a great, goalkeeper, and then you see those not being able to go down to get the shot. I mean, these are just basic goalkeeping errors. I mean,
I think it's also overconfidence. It's also overconfidence, right? Because every time you see him, he's like, he's almost he almost wants to do the like crazy things in games just to like psych himself up. You hear things from like Michael Jordan about how he used to like get into these battles in his own head before games, right? Like make stuff up just so he could psych himself up. And I feel like Onana has beef with the ball or something. He's trying to be like, no, I'll show you or something like that. I don't know, man.
I would explain the miss kicks.
It was such a comedy, right? We had one Onana in the goal who was, had a kind of, and Højlund up front, both the players never have an affinity to the ball. Højlund was always fighting with the defenders. He wasn't struggling for the ball. He was just wanting to see where can I get into a fight with the defender. And Onana was like, "Oh, I don't want the ball. What? I've never touched a ball before. I'm not a goalkeeper."
It was a lot
Yeah,
of hot
yeah.
potato at the back, and the calmness that Le Mans see in his debut. Everyone was talking about like, oh, just sort of catching the ball, the fundamentals and stuff, and this does come under goalkeeping fundamentals. But my favourite thing about the boy coming in, he was what, 20, is he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's 20.
23. Sorry, 23.
So right, young 20s, you know what I mean, young man, and he's just giving it, commanding the box, shouting at the top of his lungs, and that's what made me so happy. I was like, this
He's
boy,
also got the presence, right? He's also got really good presence. Yeah.
yeah,
You see him
very
standing in net, and he looks
Vanguard.
like someone who belongs. Whereas you looked at Onana, and you were just
He looked
scared.
like Bambi, yeah, exactly. And oh my days, by India, I mean, the fact we're still paying that guy a wage is like criminal.
Yeah.
He's got the best job.
You know what's interesting, guys? I can't remember I can't remember like that many, African origin goalkeepers that have been at the top level, even though we've had so many like African players that play, like Drogba and Essien and so many players. I can't remember one African origin goalkeeper that's really been super good.
I was
I'm
immediately
gonna-
Mendy.
Dita,
Mendy.
but he was Brazilian.
Mendy, yeah, but he was Mendy,
Mendy?
like he was good for like a season or two. I know he won the Champions League, right? With
He had the
Chelsea.
injury though, right?
Yeah,
And then
but
he
it's
was.
more
then
rare.
his
You know
career
what I'm
went.
saying, though, right? It is
Yeah,
more
I do
rare.
get the point. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting because again, you look at how much talent is coming out of Africa, man. Especially now the Premier League
Oh my
is
god.
dominated by so much African talent, and it's honestly great for me to see because we had this conversation the other day with Robert and with the Kenyan brothers and Nelson as well. And somebody says Kameni was good. And where's the clip of Onana helping Mbumo on a free kick near the opposition's box? Yeah, he came all the way out of his goal near the halfway line, and he's telling Mbumo what to do. That was nuts.
Man.
Yeah. I think in terms of African origin goalkeepers, you could say Mike Maignan right now, who's
I thought about
who's
Mike
playing and he's
Maignan.
good, but he's French, right?
Plays
He's
for France, but
yeah.
he had the choice to play for. He could have
I'm not
He
sure.
could have played for someone else.
Let me
I can't
see.
remember.
Just looking out right now.
Because I'm sure it was
Guadeloupe.
Guadeloupe, and I think we can understand why he maybe went for the French gig if he is an incredible.
Well, yeah, he's a great keeper. Yeah, he's a great keeper.
Yeah.
And Kerwin says Kameni to some extent. Yeah, we have some viewers from Africa. You guys tell me who the best African goalkeeper of all time is. That'd be a very interesting conversation to have.
Your viewers, honestly, it's such a worldwide channel. It's like
Vincent and
class.
Yama, I guess.
Really embodies like worldwide Man United are.
Yeah. I trust me. I met somebody from Belarus on the channel that I would have never expected, right? And obviously now a few people from Scotland. It's yourself. There's Andrew Leslie.
Big Andrew,
I think there's a couple of other people as well. Steve
Can I-
Mandanda, but again, he's French. Mandanda's
Can I
French.
just do this for Andrew real quick?
What's up? Let's do
I'm
it.
just going to show this badge. This is for Andrew Hibernian,
Hibernian, nice.
our second love besides United. That's the local team.
Yeah, nice. Do you actually go watch the? Do you watch any
the
games?
Hibs games, yeah. I do. I don't have a season ticket. I had a season ticket like before, and I ended up like not. It worked out. I was like that. I didn't save any money, so I just go to like one game every month or a couple of months or something like that. I have one mate.
Fifth in the Premiership right now.
Hmm?
They're fifth in the Premiership.
Hibs, yeah, man. It's don't remind me, because like we were in third and it was looking good, and we finished last year 16 games unbeaten, which is incredible, really. But yeah, whatever. I have too much pain there, right? It's not over yet.
Well, I mean, it can't be more pain than United, though.
It can be a double dose of pain, though. Andrew will know what I'm talking
Yeah, that's
about.
true.
Like
That's true.
when
Fair enough.
United lost to Everton, that same weekend, Hibs lost to Motherwell 2-0. It's just like, oh man, how are Hibs getting on? Oh, okay, right. I'm going upstairs to cry now. Like,
Oh, damn. Okay, someone suggested Bruce Grobelar, and I just looked him up, and he's like, Caucasian descent, but he's a
Guys,
Zimbabwean former goalkeeper, so that's an interesting
who did
shout.
he play for?
the
Grupola.
Nigerian Vincent Enyama, no?
Enyama? Let me look him up. Vincent Enyama.
Nigerian, from Nigeria.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sleepy boy.
Okay. Who did he play for though? He played for Lille. I guess he played for Lille for 7 years.
It's a big club.
Yeah, that's fair.
Of
That's fair.
course.
I mean, even if you're expanding it to like African origin players as well, right? I think Mandanda is a great shout.
But
Maignan
when
is a
down
great
to
shout.
keepers, like that's when I was like, oh, I can't think. Like, keepers only. I was like, besides
Yeah.
Onana, I
Oh,
can't.
Roberto makes a good shout. Yassine Bono, for Morocco.
Oh no,
He had a good shout.
was
Yeah,
he not currently at Al Hilal?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. Is that your FIFA knowledge?
No, that was from being bored during the summer and watching the Club World cash grab.
Yeah.
You know, when they had the
Fair enough.
players walking out to like pyro, like it was a fucking Royal Rumble or something. I mean, seriously. But that guy really impressed me because I couldn't believe he's like 44 or something like that. It's insane. He was diving about like
Wait, who Bono?
But oh no, hang on, I've got this wrong before, and I searched it, and I was like, oh wait, it's not that old. Where have I got this from? There was someone in the
Alistair,
club.
before you go on, I know you just don't want to break you in the middle of the conversation. I'm going to leave because I got to get home before the game. So nice chatting with you
Sounds
guys.
good, Evan.
All
See ya.
right,
See ya,
we'll
man. Thanks for joining.
catch you up during the game. All right, take care. Bye bye.
Yeah. See ya.
All
right. Someone says Victor Wembanyama could do a job in net. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to score past him. You know who that is, Alistair?
We just need no.
He's the tallest. He's the tallest basketball player currently playing in the NBA, and he's also like the most skillful. He's a French international, super tall, skinny.
The Nick Voltamad of the NBA world.
Yeah, I guess. He's almost a foot taller than Voltamada. Can you imagine how tall he is? He's 7'5".
I'm 6'3", well, just under, and that can be a struggle.
He'd make you look like
that's what I'm thinking.
A tiny
I'm
man,
like,
yeah.
I got a couple pals that are 6'5", and even that's like concerning, and it feels very
Abhishek,
weird.
we're just discussing sorry, we're just discussing African keepers. Just go down memory lane and think of like which have been the best keepers, because we haven't seen that many African keepers sort of make it at the top level, which is interesting because a lot of their forwards, wingers, midfielders, defenders, a lot of them have been some of the best players ever.
I can remember Samuel Eto'o goals just from memory. It's like
Eto'o is one of the most, for as rated as he is, still one of the most underrated ballers of all time.
Yeah, not talked about enough. 1,000%, man. Like because I used to like AC Milan a lot when I was younger, just because he played like the same United colours. And I just remember him playing for Inter and just smashing goals past them because
didn't he win back to back? Didn't he win back to back Champions Leagues with he won it with Barcelona one year, and then next year went to Inter Milan and won it with them as well.
That would make sense.
One of the only players to win back-to-back Champions Leagues with two different clubs.
He definitely won it with Barca and with Inter.
Yeah, I think he did it in back-to-back years. It was 2009 and 2010.
What a player, man!
Yeah, amazing player. Honestly,
special player.
He was a Cameroonian, right, Samuel Eto'o? Yeah, Cameroonian,
and
he's currently the current president of the Cameroonian Football Federation. Well deserved.
I was just gonna say that's like where he should be. I was watching this thing today about Hendrick, and you know how we were. did you see anything about the links like Real Madrid offering Endrick?
I think he's linked to Leon, right? He was linked to Leon, wasn't he?
He was. Did you? Apparently, he was linked to us. That's what I was meaning. But I
That might just is that just the agent trying to get
yeah, that's what I'm sort of trying to get at. But I'm not 100%.
yeah.
This is like spin. I'm trying to remember when I heard the news. Was it like whatever? They're definitely trying to get him out on loan, and just like he's a very good striker, and like he's kind of like the menu, I guess, of like Real Madrid right now.
Yeah. No, but they have like
Well,
honestly, I think more young players should beware before they go to Madrid because
yeah, I think he
you
should
might go there and just
went-
not get any game time.
He should have went
Right,
to
that's the
like a
problem.
Real Sociedad or something for a couple years.
No, even a bigger club would have taken a swipe on you. Like you could,
Oh,
you
on
could pick
Endrick?
United. Yeah, you could pick
Yeah.
United over going to Madrid, and you'd get game time
Because like
at one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Endrick certainly would. Endrick
Yeah,
at
exactly.
that United club, because I just remember I was like, before I realised that there was almost zero substance to the rumour, I was kind of excited. I was like,
Yeah.
that would be incredible, but it was very
Yeah.
ironclad. Like, you can have him for 6 months, then we're taking him back. And I'm thinking, so he's obviously part of their future plans. It just sucks when you see a young player, especially at
Yeah.
that talent.
Roberto makes a good point. Euro chose us over Madrid, and I think he's better off for it because he may not have played a lot for Madrid as much as he's played for us. Although
on the-
now that they went for Dean Howson, he might have played.
Yeah,
Let me just check the team news. It should be out in like 3 minutes, I think.
Ooh. Yeah, it should be 1:45, I guess. What do you
Yeah.
think will be the? Do you think he'll have Euro or Mazraoui playing as right centre back?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the question is if De Ligt is fit or not, because he might go with Euro in the middle and play Mazraoui as right center back. But it's also possible that he sticks to Heaven because Heaven didn't really do that much wrong, right? People were getting on his back the other day,
The
but
yellow
I don't know.
card made people like. I just saw in a couple like
Yeah,
live
nervous, yeah.
chats like, oh, having this, having that, and stuff. I'm like, right, but take away the yellow card, he went in a little bit happy-go-lucky. I thought it was still a little harsh, but that's up for debate. Whatever. I'm biased. I thought he did good. I thought he did.
Yeah, same. I thought he was good. Like Callum Wilson's experienced striker, to go up against him and
Yeah,
you know,
facts.
not just have egg on your face. I think that's a pretty good achievement for me.
Exactly. And I said it when I was on your stream before. I was really, really impressed, and I felt like it wasn't talked about enough how good he was coming on for Luke Shaw in the Brighton game, because we were 3-0 up obviously when the subs were brought in, and it turned a little messy for 5 minutes. So folk were
But
A
that
lot
was
of
Dorgu's. But that was, I think,
subs-
both mistakes were made by Dorgu in that. When we conceded the 2 goals,
so that's
both
what
mistakes were down to Dorgu. So yeah,
yeah, people were just lumping him in with Dorgu, who was also a sub. I was thinking, but Aiden haven't done fantastic, and I
Yeah.
thought we'd see a little bit more of him with this United squad.
And speaking of a stature, like we did with Lawmans, Heaven also looks like he's got a Premier League body, right? He
For
looks
a
like he's
young
ready to
lad,
go.
He's
Yeah.
clearly been hitting the gym and stuff like that. So like, I reckon he'll be solid by the time we can.
Also, can you imagine he scores a last minute winner for us? The headline writes itself.
Oh,
A
dude.
goal from heaven. A
But
goal
that's
from heaven,
turning-
guys.
They just had a goal from heaven, and
Exactly.
a writing career ahead of you as well, man. I mean,
Oh no, that's
yeah.
Rishi. That's Rishi.
The
Rishi is a
players-
writer, by the way.
Was that Rishi?
Oh, the
love it.
lineups
Why
are
are
out,
you
guys. The
still
lineups
here?
are out. Let me pull this
Are
out.
they?
Hold on.
I ain't got a foot mob notification.
Oh, it's on Twitter.
might be-
The club's Twitter. I'm just gonna put
right.
it up on screen. Yeah. Let me put it up on screen. Hold on.
A Lebanese
Share
Wi-Fi.
screen. Oh yeah. Okay, so the lineup is, guys, Lawmans, Dalo, Mazraoui, Mount, Bruno, Cunha, Ahmad, Casemiro, and Bumo, Shaw, Heaven. Oh, no Xerxes. So Mount starts as striker, it looks like.
Mount.
Or Mount
there
or
we
Cunha
go.
plays striker, but there's no Xerxes. Xerxes on the bench. Mbumo on the right, Ahmad as right wing back, Cunha and Mount either 9 and 10. We have Mazraoui as right center back. We have Heaven and Shaw again. Okay, so he didn't drop Heaven. Euro's on the bench.
Same as last week. It'll be same as
And
last
so
week.
Bruno
in terms of
Casemiro again.
backline.
Boys, Bruno Casemiro again. I do
Mhm.
agree with Shant. I think Cunha has had his better games at 9, not at 10. And Jack Burr says, "Good God, why haven't Amorim miscooked?" No, bro. Why would you say that? Come on. Just because he got a yellow card, let's not put him down. We have Shaylin who's joining us as well. Shaylin, how you doing, brother?
Gonna make mistakes, like.
Hey,
Shaylin,
yeah. what's up?
Shaylin,
How are you
hello.
guys?
Hey, bro.
your reaction to the starting 11.
Disappointed. I think that Xerxes isn't starting.
Same.
I thought he
I feel
deserved.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that.
And
What's he
it's
done
also
to
because
deserve
I
to
have
be
him on my
dropped?
fantasy team.
You had Xerxes in your FPL.
It's not necessarily like FPL, but it's kind of like have you done NFL fantasy before, where you like draft
No, I have
players
not.
and then okay, so it's like that. We've drafted players like across our league, and
Okay.
Xerxes was like kind of like someone on the waiver wire. I just picked him up because I was like, oh, he's been doing well.
Okay.
And then,
You had some leftover funds and you picked them up. Is that it?
yeah,
Amorim's done you dirty.
yeah,
Yeah.
sadly. So that's all good.
So I mean, clearly Shaylin is Amorim out now.
So, were
Yeah,
you?
you're putting words in my mouth here, Andy. But I won't deny it, or I won't counter it. I guess.
Yeah.
How do
Fair
you
enough.
feel about this Mount and Cunha thing? Because you were Andy. Did you say you prefer him as a 9?
Who? Cunha?
You prefer him
Prefer.
as a
Okay.
9 or-
I just want to clarify. I think our ideal starting 11 has Šeško, Cunha, and Mbumo up top, right? So I would prefer Cunha plays as the 10, the left side of 10, but I think he's had some of his best games starting through the middle. It's just because he doesn't give a focal point to the other team, and he just keeps dropping deeper and deeper. So the center backs are kind of not sure about where they should be. So that's the only reason I would say. But again, we are playing back to back teams that play 3 at the back, right? Because West Ham is actually was playing a 3 at the back for a lot of games, but they switched to a 4 at the back against us. And now Wolves is another 3 at the back team. So or 5 at the back, whatever you want to say.
I'm just a little bit like Shaylin, man. I'm gutted that Xerxes was dropped because I think Mount and Cunha are both just better as number 10s. I think they offer different things. I think Mount offers a little bit more control and sort of calmness, if that makes sense. I can't get into the too big wordery of it all like you can. And Cunha is better at dropping back and driving the ball forward with these dribbles, getting through 4 guys, tenacious dribbles that Mount isn't really capable of, but Mount's capable of these kind of more like seeing the pass, clever wee passes and stuff like that. So I think they're both so good as 10s. And with Cunha, I hope he's not rusty. I mean, the only way to shake that rust off is to play him. So I guess it's like a double-edged sword kind
Alistair,
of thing.
you know what? You've convinced me, man, because we have 2 such positive United fans on the call right now. We're gonna go win this, man. This is gonna be a big win. Let's go.
And
I feel like Cunha's going to.
I feel Cunha's gonna have a big game. Yeah, Cunha's gonna shut me up.
Star? Did you forget about me, Cunha? Big Mateus. No.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a few things to say about that. Like Cunha
But if you
brace.
guys remember the first couple of lineups, right? I don't think we had an actual number 9 in our
we
front
played
3.
Mount and Cunha. Yeah, we did. We played the same.
Yeah, it was between Mount and Mount and Cunha. But I just like it didn't really. How did you feel about that, Shaylin? Because to me, it's still like when Šeško came in, I was like, this just cements my thought that Mount and Cunha are both just better in the left 10 role, and with Šeško as the focal point, and ideally Xerxes, but I guess it's not happening. So
yeah, I think I see Xerxes I mean, he's that self-proclaimed 9.5. I think that if you're thinking about it, he's competing not necessarily against Šeško. I think he's competing with Mount and Cunha for who sits in that left 10 spot, or maybe even with like Mbumo of
He
like.
could do the right. Because he played right 10 at Bologna like a handful of times at least. Because I know for a fact I've seen it on a player on a sheet once.
There's a lot of fluidity that, like, with at least with that front three, or in this system that front three can provide. We've been able to see that time and time again. I still like have a really difficult time finding a better game where we've performed than the Arsenal game in the beginning of the season, and that
Oh my
lineup
God,
is kind of like really like similar to it. So you know,
that game hurts me to this day. Like, buying there having hands like wet lettuce and letting that goal in. We should have at least got. We all know we should have got the point.
So even the Fulham game, you know what goal kills me the most? It's the long ball from Binder that goes straight to Cunha, and he hits it straight at Bernd Leno's hands. Like, it couldn't have been more at his hands if he tried.
Over and done with like that. Great.
Might as well hit him in the nuts if you're gonna, hit it straight at him.
And as soon as we took him out and popped Le Mans into that position, it's like all of a sudden our luck coincidentally changes from these long balls. You know what I mean? Šeško helping with the height and stuff like that. I think my brain is citing the Chelsea game with the Sanchez red card. We know what that obviously does.
Do you guys agree with this Heaven central center back?
I do.
I heard of it. I think about the energy, and like
I don't mean it from like that. Like, can he play that position in a sense? I think it's from the communication standpoint.
Andy, what would you have to say about that?
Like between the three.
Yeah, so I think last game, the reason why Heaven was looking a little helter-skelter, right, at times, it was because he was kind of, it looked a little bit like deer in headlights, right? He almost didn't know, like, it was happening a little too quick for him. But that was like the first 10, 15, 20 minutes type of situation, after which I thought he grew into the game a lot, right? So the only way we can get the communication right is for him to do more of this. Now, we don't have the, we don't have the, what's it called? Jeez, I'm missing the word here. But we don't have the same time that Arsenal did with Saliba to send him on loan to Saint Etienne for 2 seasons where he can go learn without the pressure and come back, right? We're in a position where we signed Heaven. Again, I think one of the best signings we've made recently, because he cost us £2 million, right? He cost us £2 million, and this guy could actually be, at least from the projections that I'm seeing, he could be as good as Euro. Like, I'm not seeing anything that puts a big difference between the two of them. Right, and so that would be an app. Yeah, he would be 25 times cheaper than Euro if he's at the same level, right? And we're also not paying him nearly the same wages. So I think he could be be really good. In my opinion, through the middle, Heaven. These are the games you pick up the confidence in, right? I know it's against Wolves, but we aren't a confident team yet. And him putting in a big performance today makes a big difference for us.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting that you guys mentioned it, and I see Sean in the chat too saying like he's one of the best like passing progressors that we have. I saw the video on the members channel of like how important that
forward,
of playing it forward too.
Ball progression, yeah.
I believe that because
let me see that.
I believe ultimately like you'll be right, where it's like, okay, hey, like this guy's probably going to come good and come well. It's what I'm afraid of is, does this, like, do we as a fan base eat him alive? And not like we as in the channel.
The media noise and like the minority that's screaming. The young players, man.
100%. Because I don't know. It's really like difficult to just like put him in there and then just be like, it's a bit ironic, right? A lot of people say like, oh, Amorim's not like with our identity. He's not playing Kobe Mainu. To the same extent, he's like playing some other younger players or whatever. So I'm just like, well, like that.
Well, Heaven, Euro, Dorgu, these are all young players.
Yeah.
And Ahmad is somebody who's just entering his prime. Like, let's not forget, he was the one to put Ahmad in the right wing back. He had all his goals and assists from right wing back last year. Even though people this year are like, "Oh, he's a number 10. Why are we playing him at the right wing back?" Because he scored all his goals and assists last year from right wing back.
Like, I've seen this thing a few times. It's just comments, social media stuff. Like, well, I don't use much social media, but YouTube, right? The biggest numpty is come out on YouTube because you can be anonymous, right? Is I've seen this so many times. It's like, name one player that Amorim's. Name me a plethora. I get pretty much every player. Like, what? It's just madness. But I think these are generally like people that have got like menu tinted glasses on or whatever, and they're just kind of too mad about that whole thing. But honestly, to me, Euro, Delict, and Heaven, that is the future, like back three, or certainly the back three going forward under Amorim. Unfortunately, because of the contract that Shaw's on, he's on a very, a contract of a past United that we're hopefully going to be leaving behind, or we will be with a new wage structure and stuff. But I think we'll be stuck with him for another couple years. But I'm just saying this because it bothers me. Like, we're trying to move forward and stuff. We have a solid left wing back in Leacher, and obviously come back from injury and stuff. But there's this brilliant prospect that cost us $2 million. I can't believe that. That's cheaper than I remember. In Aiden Heaven. For me, it'd be a dream to get He's been good. Yes, he's been really good for his usual standards. He's been consistent. He's been, but we don't know why that.
Is he cutting out for you too a little bit?
Yeah, he is.
And he's going to be
It's
handed
that
in
he's using the neighbor's Wi-Fi. That's
every week when the.
Neville,
no,
you
am
keep
I
cutting
lagging
out.
again?
Yes. But Neville, I'll give you. You like the previous. You like the previous thing I said. Neville, you like the previous thing I said. So let's just say, I think Heaven will Heaven this game will look like a godsend.
Sorry.
Okay.
Love it. I really want to win this game because I want to pass the crisis baton fully to Liverpool.
To Liverpool, yeah.
Just because it's like, I think if we just don't drop any points.
I thought I just cut out there as soon as I said I'm going to leave you. So I was like, that is funny timing. I'm going to go make my dinner.
You are cutting out quite a bit, though. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's good timing that I leave you, but I love you and leave you. Glory, glory, Man United, and we're definitely going to win. All right, and all the Amorim outers can go and hide for another until the next bad loss. I'm just finding the button to leave. You take care, Andy, and you take care, Shyle.
I'll get you. I got you. See you, man.
Yeah.
All right. Lagging like United's performance versus low-level teams. Or even lagging behind like United this season, right? Because, dude, you imagine, like, if we you look at Everton, West Ham, and this game today, right? Out of these three, had we just won two of them, right? So even if we won Everton and West Ham and maybe we lose today to Wolves, it's not that big a deal because then we would have 9 points or 6 points out of the last 3 games. And then we'd be coming into this saying, okay, we're disappointed, shouldn't have given them their first win, but no big deal. But I think that's why Amorim was upset in the press conference so much, because he's like, dude, you don't think I'm trying to win these games, right? And we're like, had Bruno done that, the volley that he attempted where he jumped up on his feet and he tried to hit it like that and it hit the outside of the post. He's like, you don't think I wanted that goal to go in or the Cunha shot right after that or before that, whenever that was. And that's the issue. Like you look at Aston Villa, like I saw the Adam Cleary FC video on why Aston Villa are good this season. And he was talking about 50% of their shots or something are long shots, or I think I'm paraphrasing. I think one of his graphics was actually wrong because he compared goals to shots from 2 different graphics, but essentially they're taking a lot of long shots, right? Which is true. And
once again, athletic video about that, huh?
Yeah, that's why their XG is low and they're overperforming, is what he said. But this is the thing I don't understand. it's not like they found something about long shots that nobody knows about long shots, right? In the history of the Premier League or any league for that matter. You can't keep doing that and succeeding. So what I'm seeing essentially from afar, they're taking long shots and they're still winning games, which means they're getting lucky. Because there's a reason why a long shot is a low XG shot. Because it's not, it's less likely to go in, which means they are getting lucky to keep scoring from those and keep winning games. And I look at United and we don't have any luck. We're performing exactly as expected. In fact, we're more goals are going in against us than they should be. So I think Amorim is sitting there being like, like everything that could go wrong is going wrong with this project. We lost the Europa League final, right? 3 days before that, there's a huge links for Bruno to go to Saudi and all that at the end of the season. He's had an off game. Ugarte played that game. He was bad. And we have a shit performance. This year, we should have beaten Arsenal, right? We were good enough to win that game. We ended up losing. We were good enough to beat Fulham. We ended up losing. We were good enough to smash Burnley 5-0, like Arsenal beat Leeds the week before that, I believe, 5-0. But we ended up winning with a last-minute penalty. Against Chelsea, we get a red card in the 4th minute, and then Casemiro goes and gets sent off after we're 2-0 up, and we have a shit second half performance. So you're looking at so many games. I've just literally named the first 5 games we played, and he's sitting there being like, dude, I must be like, you know what? You're Indian as well, so you know what shani means, right? Which is like you're just going through a bad time. Like he must be thinking I'm just freaking in my shani phase, like something's going on.
Yeah. I agree. I think there's, the draw hasn't sometimes hasn't favored us, but then sometimes it has, similar to some refereeing decisions and whatnot. And we are performing basically exactly to what the underlying numbers are saying. I would argue, if we actually meet our XG total, those 4 goals that we're underperforming by would probably move us up a couple positions up on the table. But at the same time, it's such a competitive league. I think we're 3 points better off this season than we were last season with the same amount of games played. It might be 6 after today. But even if it was just 3 points, you could see last year, oh, it builds momentum, right? And this is kind of one of the things, right, that the idea of that virtuous cycle being built, the more you're going to invest into it, the more that ideally you're going to end up out as a return. And then if you take that return and further invest back into yourself, then it'll continue to compound, hopefully. So this is where I'm hoping that we're able to build that momentum. I didn't want to do, the United Strands challenge of winning the 5 games. I wanted to do that in January or into February, where this that middle part of the season where it really matters a lot, because this is when teams will start to struggle quite a bit with not just the fixture congestion, but the injuries, some of the suspensions that'll pile up too. So, okay, we didn't get it early on, but then, we'll see what the real grit of the team is then the second half almost.
I think also AFCON, right? AFCON will tell us a lot about how many players can step up and how good they are or bad they are. Because I have a feeling as negative or positive or shit or good we want to think Ineos are, the signs that I'm getting, right? The vibes that I'm getting based on everything they've said, everything they've done so far, is that they're looking at it very pragmatically, right? We have all of these squad building issues. I think when they first came in and actually took reins over the club, or even from the outside looking in, I think they had their own version of the sins of 2023 video, right? But instead it was the sins of 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, right? So they were looking at all the seasons and they would have arrived at the same conclusion that we have on this community, which is there's so many problems. And you saw the members only video as well. I talked about it exclusive at the end. I had a conclusion section where I addressed the top 5 priorities that we have within the squad, right? And I want to get the chat to react to this as well. We have obviously what's it called? We are light on the left wing back. We need a starting left wing back. We need 2 midfielders, right? That's 3 positions there. We probably need a backup to Mbumo, because for Cunha we have Mount. For Sheshko we have Xerxes, and you can say they can kind of play in those positions. And I think, to be fair, I think all of our front 5, the 5 players that we have for the front 3 positions could play in any of those positions. But we still need a left-footed player who can dovetail with Mbumo to give him some freshness off the bench. And Ahmad, as we have seen, works only at the right wing back. So we're already talking 4 positions that we need to fix. Then we have 2 left center backs who are completely injury prone, right? And we need to replace both of them. And yesterday's video, I talked about De Ligt's progressive passing issues, which make him essentially another problem alongside Maguire. So we have like 8 players that we still need to buy for the squad to be ready to, not even compete for the league, but consistently finish top 4. And then you would talk about another 4 or 5 players from there to essentially say we can maybe challenge like a Arsenal. And look at Arsenal now, man. They're like 2 points behind City and just trembling in their boots.
Yeah, I think it's interesting for sure. Do you think that this is why I want to pass the crisis baton to Liverpool, so I'm going to be leading you on with the question I'm about to ask you.
Sure.
But do you think that there's a world where, let's say we don't get a result here, and the focus is kind of mostly on us back again of kind of what's going on? And I don't know if you spoke to some people after the game, like yesterday, that probably aren't on the channel, like friends of yours, or if you've seen some of the comments on social media, and if you've seen it on Reddit and whatnot. I know I have. It felt like a shift started to begin where most of the folks were starting to just lose the faith inside of Amorim. So if we don't get a result here,
Are you talking after the West Ham game?
Yes, that was the last game we just had. Yes, yeah. So after the West Ham game.
Yeah.
If let's say, just to entertain, I guess, that happens, do you think he can actually survive, or is this going to be more of a question for how much noise is the board willing to cancel out?
Yeah. So you're essentially saying if we lose today, let me make it a worse version of your question, which is, let's say we lose badly today, like it's a 3-0, right?
Yeah.
Hypotheticals. Although it's probably closer to reality than a hypothetical, but let's not do that. If we have a bad loss, like 2-0, right? Wolves doesn't have like tons of goals in them. Let's say we lose 2-0, or even it's a 2-1, but it's a really bad performance. I think the question becomes, for me, again, I'm being hyper pragmatic and just trying to put my business cap on and saying, if I was the owner of an institution that was performing like this, I would always like to say, can we get to the bottom of the issue, right? What is the issue? Is the issue that the manager is performing below expectations based on the tools we've given him?
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to us setting realistic expectations at the start of the season, right? Because you always, whenever I start a new project, I'm always thinking about what are the success metrics that we should measure ourselves against, right? Have we been realistic in establishing, do we have SMART goals, right? A specific, measurable, whatever the acronym is. And I think they do, because it's like basic MBA stuff, or most people running businesses will do this. And so I think you look at the squad and say, it's probably the 7th strongest squad in the league, because just because Liverpool are playing like shit doesn't mean they have a bad squad, right? So it's probably the 7th strongest squad in the league. If we finish 7th or 6th to 8th, right, and it's like a 2-point swing or 3-point swing either way, that for me is equivalent to finishing 7th, right? If he does better than that, then he has overperformed based on the tools we gave him. If he does worse than that, he has underperformed based on the tools we gave him. Now, all of the things I said matter at the end of the season. And the question is, does he actually make it to the end? And to answer that question, we have to say, when we forecasted how he should be doing, right, we might have said he should be beating teams like Wolves, for example. Did we account for the fact that Casemiro is going to be as shit as he has been in the last few games, right? because he's given us good games and then he's tailed off horribly. Did we account for the fact that Bruno is actually going to be as good as he has looked in some games, and then overlook the fact that he could also be as bad as Casemiro in some games, right? So these mitigating circumstances that we're seeing live, it's impossible to predict every single one. So it really depends on where their risk tolerance is. I know people are falling asleep. This sounds like a lecture, but if that makes sense to you, Shaylin, that's how I would be looking at it. Is these guys strike me as someone that wants to make the logical decision as much as possible, take emotion out of it. And the reality is, whether we, even if we lose in this game, what actually are you gaining by sacking Amorim now?
Yeah.
Right? For me, you just stay till the end of the season, man. It is what it is. Right?
And
Because if they're going to take the L on this signing of signing Amorim at the time that they did, might as well take the full L and keep until the end of the season and reassess.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's really just interesting because some of, I guess, the noise around the club is like before, like under Ten Hag, it was like, oh, we don't have a system. Like, what is our system? Like, what's going on? And then now we have a guy like, okay, there's a very clearly identified system that's there, and they're just like, oh, this system is just like not good enough, right? And it's like the goalposts kind of just like keep expanding a little bit of like, what is it that the fan base wants? And I'll say that 5-game stretch where we had those 3 wins and then 2 draws, like I think it was like the Spurs at the end, right? Or whatever, might have been the case. But like that 5-game stretch has probably been the most positive I've seen the fan base in a
long time.
In a long time. And unironically, that is when the players also were performing the best that I've seen, them perform, at least in recent history, being the case. So yeah, I think there's probably something to be said about just, how can we as fans even just generate that momentum for the club? But I really think it's probably just going to be really mostly down to, and this is not super insightful.
I just noticed your hoodie, by the way. You're wearing an MUFC hoodie. I love it. It's awesome.
But yeah, just down to the results.
Okay, so let me give you a dose of positivity, right? And this is something that I haven't heard anybody talking about. If we win today and we beat Bournemouth, we will have 10 points from these stretch of 5 games. Guess how many we had in that 5-game stretch that you just mentioned? We had 11 points.
Wow, yeah.
Right? So it'd be a difference of 1 point, just because instead of 2 draws, we're going to have 1 loss and 1 draw, right? And so we could still go get 10 points from this 5-game stretch, and that would just be amazing, right? Like, nobody would be like, we have underperformed. That would be overperforming, if anything, based on everything that we've seen so far. And I think the only player we're not going to have for Bournemouth is Mazraoui for AFCON, because he's going to leave earlier than the other guys. So if we win these 2 games, we'll be on 10 points. If we draw 1 and win 1, we'll be on 8. And again, that would be higher than the prediction we made for 7 points, right? And so I think the thing is, we have to realize, sometimes, depending on the character of the team and depending on the mentality of the team, losses can be a good thing, because it's an opportunity to learn, right?
Yes.
When you're in any type of management position, whether you have a business or even if you're a teacher and you're, teaching kids, there's something called a teachable moment, right? And sometimes you have to go through those things. And, any business coach will also tell you this, like, there are, in life, you will get thrown teachable moments, and you have to be humble enough to learn from those. And I think we've had a lot of teachable moments, unfortunately, more than you probably need to actually learn, but it's fine. We gotta be positive, because if we're gonna sit here and not back the team to come out of this, then what's the point of watching the games? There's literally no point. Just wait till the final whistle. Wait, pray for us to lose, and then go on Twitter and start, clicking your thumbs. Right? That's what I feel.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, if we only had more sensibility, right, that would be great. At least within the fan
But
base.
you know what, dude? If the fan base was more sensible, I wouldn't have any viewership. I just feel like everybody would be on the same page, because I'm like the guy, with the what's it called? The Tin Man or whatever it's called, right? I'm
Tinfoil hat?
on my soapbox. Yeah, tinfoil hat. I'm on my soapbox. I'm like the guy on the corner saying, have you heard of Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, right? Like talking about Ruben Amorim that way in terms of he can save us, he can get us back to the top, and I believe in him. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I really think there's something to be said though about like and maybe we shift the conversation just a little bit here. The noise that's being generated from like ex-players, and not necessarily just from our club, but also from other clubs and things like that. The pressure that they kind of end up like, putting on to them to at least our existing crop of players. It makes me wonder, what the agenda almost is from their perspective. And I don't think it's like a legacy thing. I honestly think that are they now just so far detached from actually playing that for them to continue to get, like paid for their opinions, that they kind of almost want that crisis-ish to happen? And you might think that, well, these people have like made enough to, sustain themselves for like forever, but these are competitive athletes. I would assume greed is a really like, potent factor inside of at least like their life too.
You want my honest opinion on this, Shaylin? Because you've got me thinking now. This is like the most normal conversation I've had in a while about United, because it's just you and me here. I'll give you my honest thoughts on this. I think so. Let's try to imagine a day in the life of Paul Scholes, right? Or a day in the life of Gary Neville. Gary Neville's a better example because I know he's got like 15 businesses. He owns Hotel Football. He's got a media empire to run. He does games all the time. He doesn't have time to sit and breathe, right? He barely probably finds enough time for his kids, for his wife, his family, his relatives, everything, right? Super busy guy. He doesn't have any time to watch a game back, right? He's giving all his reactions live and off the cuff, right? And fair enough, he is seen much more games much more closely than I have because he sits at the stadium and all that. He's getting the live reaction. I think in Gary Neville's case, it's a little bit of laziness and not putting in more effort to give a better take than he does, right? Because he could easily say, hold the phone, let me put some more effort in to actually see what's going on with United, right? And I may not be smart enough to do it, but let me go ask some analysts, because Sky Sports has like 1 billion analysts if they want. Let me go ask somebody, tell me a few positive things about United and tell me if I could go bring them up, and are they actually that positive or are they just fluff, right? So he could easily go ask them, listen, I don't understand XG. I don't understand underlying stats. By looking at those, can you tell me, are United better or worse than another team? Very simple question, right? That's what I would do in his position, because that's how I think, right? I'm always looking for the data that can back up the claims I'm making. So that would be the question. And I think it's laziness, but it's also, I mean, I don't want to call out his intelligence, but I don't know if he's smart enough to sit there and actually be like, let me look at the metrics. Because I think he probably does that for his other businesses. Like he probably does that for Oldham, or sorry, not Oldham, Salford. He probably does it for Salford, right? Because they have underlying metrics. They'll have a team of analysts that'll come and tell him what's good and what's not. So I refuse to believe that he's not smart enough to have this line of thinking. So that's what I mean. It's like somewhere between laziness, not being smart enough, and just mailing it in terms of, this is what I know, I'm just going to say it, I'm not going to put in the extra effort. And for Paul Scholes, it's guaranteed laziness and not smart enough. 100%. I can see it from a mile away. Like he strikes me as somebody who would rather just sit there with his arms folded and just be like, back in my day, we used to score bangers from outside the box. These kids can't even pass 5 yards, so they're all shit. And for Paul Scholes, it very much seems like he just wants to be better than anybody else who's playing this. Thoughts?
I'm just reading. Yeah, I'm some of the stuff that's there. I think it's valid that maybe because he treats those other things as businesses, that he probably is a little bit more objective, or is willing to be a little bit more objective and scientific in his approach to the way he reacts. There was a a comment, I forget from who, but they said that he's trying really hard to be impartial. Or to not, yeah, it's from Romed 1990, right? He's trying too hard to be
Yeah,
impartial.
Roberto. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's, there is something to it. Before I used to just think that it's because they had such high standards that they wanted to hope that people would get him. But at a certain point, you have to kind of come to the realization or the contention that the players today are not going to do what the players of yesterday did. And I'm seeing two types of extremes in a sense, because a lot of the stuff of them going out isn't as publicized in the past as it was from the past as it is today. It's really difficult that you start seeing that players who want to kind of live this, I'm an athlete and I can have fun type of lifestyle, almost get penalized for it. And then you have the other side of it, who are like the Ronaldo, like Salah, who are they're very dedicated and they recognize that this is their craft. And it's they think that they were that. Back in their age, they thought that they were super dedicated to their craft and whatnot, and not necessarily and only because they probably went out less than the previous generation, behind them there, because
before them. Yeah. You know what's interesting, Shaylin? I'll give you a direct comparison. I bet you the worst Wolves player on the pitch today would be a much better player if you just took him and transported him into their era. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because the base level of his fitness would be so much higher, his reaction time would be much faster. He's not out on the piss every weekend after every game. We've heard stories from Roy Keane where they would have a midweek game and literally go drinking till 5 a.m. the night after that, and because of it, he would be dead in training the next day for the next game, because they would have a Wednesday game in the Champions League and then just go out on the piss, come back and not be able to train as hard, so kind of have a half day type of thing. And people weren't really pushing them that hard in training either. I think Arsene Wenger was the first guy who came to the Premier League and said, no, we're going to start eating better, we're going to start stop the drinking, heavy drinking and all that. Gosh, they had Tony Adams at the time, who we've heard his stories that he used to like a night out. So there's a lot of people, right? Even we had who's the guy that went from United to Newcastle and had the big gambling problems? I forget his name.
Sorry,
No, not now. Sorry, back in the day, in the 90s. I think there was a player that went from United to Newcastle. He had huge gambling issues. I'm sure Rishi will pull his name out. Yeah, so I think. And I also heard both Neville and Rooney come out and say, listen, we got criticized back in our day as well. And Rooney's much more recent. He, left United in 2016, is it? Or 18, whatever it was. I just look at all of those guys and say, listen, you think you got criticized because you saw it in the papers. Imagine seeing it every time you open your phone up. There's vile abuse. Dude, I don't think a single United player from back in the day, good or bad, got as much abuse as Harry Maguire's gotten. And he wasn't even, everybody agreed he was shit.
Yeah.
And he still got
this is where when fans go oh, they just need to man up. That's really difficult to do, especially because if you look at the current world state that we have just beyond football, there's so many people that struggle with not, being able to block out the noise. Right. And I have to do it. Yeah.
I have to do it because I get comments on every video saying, you're this, you're that, you're being. There was a comment 2 seconds ago. Somebody, JM Peaky, said, you're acting as if data is the only way to look at football. I'm like, when did I say that? I said that is one of the parts of decision making. When eye test doesn't tell you all the answers, data can tell you the answers, right? Vice versa. If you're looking at some data and it seems too good or too bad to be true, you go to the eye test and you back it up, right? So it's always got to be a harmony of looking at some things. So I get it. Nelson says, hell no, you didn't see the abuse Beckham went through. But you're using one player as an example to talk about the average.
This is where I don't agree with Nelson on this, is because, like, you know, okay, yes, people would attack them physically, but it's almost like worse because it's like, okay, Beckham goes through this, and it's like you have effigies of you like being there, of like, hey, like where you're gonna get like burned and things like that. I get it. Like that is, nobody should necessarily have that, but it's not like, you know, like the average player in that day would never get anything almost written
That's what I'm
about
saying.
them or whatever.
Exactly.
And I
Whereas the
think it's
average has
the
gone so much higher.
yeah, I think it's more due to that, Nelson, not necessarily like the amount of, not necessarily I would say the level of hate. Maybe the at the top end, the level of hate has gone down slightly a little bit because of the world being so appreciated. But
Hey,
but I
Shayla,
also
what's
think that
up?
the floor has just gone way up, and
Massively.
that there's so much more of it now, especially from these like faceless accounts and things like that you got. But yeah.
Bro, Nelson, you're talking about ultras, dude. Sporting ultras 3 years ago attacked their own players in the ground 3 or 4 years ago. It is professional sport, dude. We're not making excuses for players having bad games. All we're saying is that the level of pressure has gone up, especially on certain teams. It's much more varied, right? Like the United players, regardless if you're good or you're bad, we could be relegated and still get more pressure than, some City players. Like City is just happy to fill their ground up, right? On most days. So the players are kind of coasting by. And you know who I appreciate. In fact, I'll go the other way, right? Because people are thinking I'm being too soft on the players. I appreciate Erling Haaland a lot, because when he got asked about the 100 goals, are you happy about it? And or it was about the criticism or something. He's like, I should be criticized, right? I am expected. There's a huge expectations on me, but he's also the exception to the rule, right? We can't look at one person and say, listen, look at how mentally strong he is. Why can't you be like him? That would just be the same, like, the Sharma ji ka ladka thing that I said, which is like,
Yeah.
this guy's doing so well. By the way, Shaylin strikes me as the Sharma ji ka ladka who's like doing very well in his life, and every other parent is comparing their kid to Shaylin. So shame on you, man. uh, but yeah, I'm just
No,
saying.
this
So
is
like, it's, you got to look at yourself, and you got to say some people can handle it, some people can't, and the pressure has definitely gone up. And you can't just say just because I didn't face it back then. In fact, I'll say this: I don't think Paul Scholes can take the criticism of his commentary. That we give him. Right? He says stuff on
Yeah.
social media. People have a go at him, and he instantly claps back.
Yeah, and I think there's like I see the chat too. Like they're just like, oh, like whatever. But I think it's just like, it's not that like, we're trying to say, oh, these guys are like, we're trying to give them an easier time. I just think that the mental strength, I guess, from the average player, or for most of the players that at least are inside of like playing today, has gone down in comparison to maybe, what has happened in the past. And a large part of that is because of the way that professional sports and the way that these guys go through their youth teams, and the rigid structure and the things like that they have, has kind of like sheltered them quite a bit. So they've almost not necessarily had mostly like normal lives. So I do think that there is a lot of credit like to what some of the folks are saying, right? Like, ultras were there back then, and they were definitely willing to get a little bit more abusive, but that those are the types of situations that kind of like really build character for some players. Like as a player, like you need to recognize that if you don't do well, you might be put into the situation where physical harm comes into place. Nowadays, if you expect a player to get into physical harm, there's a line. It's in any sport, right? There's a line of like bodies that will come in between,
Yeah.
like, in order to like pretend or
I
protect.
think
So, yeah.
I think the best way to put it, Shaylin, is not that the players should be allowed to become soft. I think the point I'm trying to make is perhaps it was a little easier to block out the noise back in the day, because
Yeah.
the newspapers, you're not walking around with the same newspaper that has 50 stories that are revolving constantly in the same newspaper, right? Like that's what a phone is essentially. Like if you go look at a picture taken at a train station like 100 years ago, you see a bunch of people wearing the same clothes with their heads down reading today's newspaper, right, in the morning when they're going to work. And you take that same picture today, and everybody's on their phones. So the phone is a little bit harder to get away from. The news today is also a little bit harder to get away from, right? So just because it's not physical abuse doesn't mean it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
And yes, the players should be stronger because ultimately we are in the era that we're in. We can't just get rid of social media. But when you're comparing eras, that's absolutely a fair point to make. That, listen, it was, yes, you had people on Match of the Day criticizing you or after the game criticizing you, but you could still just walk away from it and be okay. Rishi, how you doing, man?
Doing good, dude.
You look
Kind of
tired,
got in a
buddy.
nap.
He just took a nap.
That
I
makes
took a
sense.
nap and I woke up. Yeah, yeah. I guess I timed it correctly for the beginning of the match.
Yeah. So Rishi's going to be fresh this time when Nelson comes in and says he wants to play the 4-2-3-1 again. Yeah. Nelson, you better join today, bro. We're looking forward to talking to you. We've had our last few streams have been so chill. I need some energy in my life, bro. 92 class didn't have any expectations to begin with, and today's Man United expectations are even higher than Liverpool somehow. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take a quick 15-minute break because I gotta go. I don't know, touch some grass, touch some snow, whatever it is outside. And before I come back in 15 minutes at 2:45, I'll be back to watch the game, and then we'll be back for the post-match show as well after the game. So lots of content for today. Let's just hope we win this game, man. I can't go through, guys. It took me, what is it? It took me till we beat Palace to get 100 subscribers so I could go over 45K. Now that we drew against West Ham, I'm back below 45K. Okay, so I'm like Sisyphus over here. I can't get over that hill. We need this win for me. Okay, not for anybody else. I don't care about anybody else. Let's go get this win. But we'll see you in 15 minutes, man. See you guys later.